Hi Pisces, welcome, thanks for joining me. So this will be the weekly love reading for the sign of Pisces. Also welcome cross watchers, sun, moon, rising, Venus, ascendants. Now these are general and collective messages, guys. It won't resonate with everybody, so take it how it resonates, okay? Okay. So what are the love messages for Pisces? What do we need to know for Pisces? What do we need to know for Pisces? What do we need to know from our Pisceans? What do we need to know from our Pisceans, please? First one out, Ace of Cups. Okay, are we dealing with a water sign? Yeah, you're definitely dealing with a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah. So we've got Ace of Cups. Six of Cups. Could be dealing with someone from your past who wants to come back and start a new relationship with you. Or you could be tied to someone from your past. Or thinking about someone from your past, somebody from your past thinking about you, wants to reconnect with you. Could be a soulmate person. Ooh. Could have been someone that you've known since childhood. Yeah, you definitely, if it's not you, it'll be someone from your past thinking about you. Could be both of you. Okay. I feel someone from the past is coming back that wants to work things out with you, start a new relationship with you. Maybe they want to resurrect a connection with you. So you've got the Eight of Pentacles here. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. It's like someone from the past wants to work things out with you. Maybe they've been working on self-love. They had to do lessons. They had to go on a journey. Also maybe... It's like they had to open their eyes to something, It could be you, you could have went through a door of opportunity. You could be a bit of a hard worker, a perfectionist. Maybe their work got in the way of the connection, so it couldn't really hit it off the ground, it couldn't really blossom. Definitely someone here that's got a lot of passion and affection and love for someone. Could have been going on for 8 years, 8 months, 6 years. Okay. Six of Swords. Yeah, someone might have walked away in the past. Okay. Someone could be walking away from a past connection to start a new relationship with someone. Could be dealing with an air sign or fellow air sign. Okay. Any more on this Six of Swords and the Eight of Temperance? Could be dealing with a Sagittarius. Yeah, someone here could have had alcohol problems. Could have been a bit of codependency problem. Or an addiction, or... Yeah, they definitely want to balance something out with you. Work something out. They want to work on something with you, that's it. Maybe they are nervous, they can't get their words out. So we've got Temperance and we've got the Nine of Cups. So someone here could have struggled with alcohol, addiction, because there's quite a lot of cups here. Someone here is definitely mastering something. Could be mastering strength and balance. Could be harmonizing knowledge. Also, this is about patience as well. Nine of Cups is all about wish fulfillment as well. Okay. Could have been in a third party situation. Three of Cups. There's a lot of cups here. Someone here, if it's not you, it'll be your person or who they're dealing with that's got alcohol problem. Bit of a party animal. Oh yes, third party situation. I feel that this come up before. Temperance. Yeah, they're definitely juggling a third party situation here. Yeah. And it looks like someone here wants to walk away so they can come back to you. There's 2 threes here. 3 of Swords, 3 of Cups. Yeah. I feel that a third party situation got in the way. They walked away, went to a third party situation. But now they're realising it doesn't work. There's a lot of balancing and juggling going on here. Someone here could be, there's lessons, strength testing going on. Someone here could be a bit lazy. Magician. Maybe in the past somebody played games, toying with someone's emotions. Maybe somebody's coming up with a creative way. They're definitely mastering knowledge here. Using their initiative, tapping into their intuition, realising that they have the power to manifest. because you've got the Magician and the Temperance. It's like someone has got something small, you know, it's like alchemy, you know, and they're going to make it into something beautiful. I have the power, I can do this, I can be creative, you know, could be giving birth to new ideas, creative projects. The Magician, he's very powerful, you know, I have the tools, I have the resources, I can master this, I can do this. Look, maybe somebody is embracing their destiny, fulfilling their destiny here. You've got a lot of cups here. I feel that when this person, or when you think of each other, you're very emotional, you're very sentimental. There's a lot of sentimental value here. They value you as a person, they value this connection. I feel that this Temperance card here is telling you to have faith, or they're saying, you know, have faith, this person's coming back. Because this Six of Cups is nostalgia, you know, soulmate energy, thinking about the past, reminiscing, missing days gone by. You know, this person wished that they invested more into it, they wish they didn't walk away. You know, there's a lot of agility here, strength testing. Could be adjusting to a new home environment, yeah. But they definitely want to work this out with you. Like I said, manifest and build something with you. They might see you as a wish fulfillment. Someone here could definitely be cutting their losses and, you know, releasing baggage from their past to come back to you. But at the moment, I feel that there's a third party situation in the way here. Okay, tell me more about this Magician and the Temperance. Any more messages? Okay, I'm being told to keep looking at that Magician. Hang on a second. Oh, what we got? Okay, we've got the Page of Wands, and then we've got the Ten of Wands. So there's a lot of thinking going on here. You could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Then we've got fellow air sign here. Yeah, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Got Aquarius energy. Yeah, it's like someone's thinking, contemplating. Should I cut my losses and walk away? You know, maybe they don't know how to get out of a situation. This person could be drunk on love. There's a lot of cups here. I do feel that when they are with you, you know, they feel more content. More content with this Nine of Cups. Now with this Page of Wands, someone wants to reach out, communicate, take action. Big on travelling. Someone here is exhausted. Look, they could be overworked, overburdened with responsibilities. Maybe they've got financial obligations, they've got children with someone. But someone here is definitely walking away from something that doesn't serve them anymore. Look, they're exhausted. So that they can come back and manifest this connection with you, with this Magician. You know, he's the master of his own craft. You know, I have the power. Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of thinking going on. Look, contemplating, planning, reflecting. You know, I feel that this person wants you by their side. Look, Two of Wands. See, someone that's quite fiery, passionate. You know, the world is at their feet. Yeah, someone might want to come travelling, come and see you. Yeah, there's a lot of thinking. Should I reach out? Should I communicate? You know, they know that they've got to leave this third party because they're not happy. They're stressed out. Look, you're tired of being in a third party situation. You feel exhausted. It's stressing you out. Maybe you are being creative and you want to have a new start for yourself. Such as when the lockdown's lifted, you might want to go travelling. Take the leap of faith, see the world, put yourself first, yeah, make yourself a priority. Maybe you're overworked and stressed. There's a lot of strength testing going on here. You know, this Temperance card's really talking to me. Someone here is very spiritual. They're seeking abundance, they're seeking guidance, you know, from a higher power. So sorry about that, I had to let the cat out. Okay, where was I? So there's a lot of thinking, preparing and planning, and someone here is making a decision, making a conscious decision to walk away from something that's not good for them. Also, I see this as someone wanting to come towards you. Okay, now as I said, this Temperance card is really talking to me. Okay, this is all about patience and learning to master that. Yeah, embrace change, you know, strength and balance, but it's like they're learning patience as well. They're learning to adapt to a home environment or a new way of life or a new way of thinking. Yeah, someone could be struggling to adapt or adjust to a new environment or a new way of life. Yeah, maybe they've been codependent on something for a long time, and it's hard for them to walk away and let go. Tell me more about this Two of Wands. Yeah, someone here, they definitely want to come in and save a union here, right? So we've got the Eight of Wands. It's like someone here had a wake-up call. You know, the universe could have stepped in, sent them a message. Okay, we've got strong fire energy and strong water energy. I definitely feel that you're dealing with a water sign or a fire sign. So there is definitely communication coming in here, especially with this Page of Wands. They want to talk to you, you know, email you, text you, phone you, but there is news coming in about something. You know, and that's why the Temperance card is there. It's saying have patience, have faith. You know, someone could be very old-fashioned, very traditional, very spiritual. They want to come in and save a union. Look, start things up again. Let you know that if they're in a third-party situation, it was just out of desire, out of lust, out of dependency. You know, they could have been being manipulated by a third-party situation. You know, so we've got the Hierophant. See? Someone here is very spiritual. They might want to get married, do things the old-fashioned way. They're very traditional. Yeah? It's like someone here, it's like they're going with their own judgment and going with their own intuition. But I do feel every time they go to pick up the phone or send you a message, they kind of chicken out, you know, they're nervous. Maybe they use work as a shield, or alcohol as a shield, to block out their feelings or block out any responsibilities that they have. There's a lot of thinking, planning, preparing and decisions going on here. Should I or shouldn't I reach out? That's what I feel here. Now, also with this Hierophant, someone here is very full of wisdom. They could be studying, someone here could be learning, or to do with something spiritual here. You know, this represents someone here who is big on morals and value and doing the right thing, moral obligations, you know. And I just feel this person's getting a bit restless, you know. And yeah, there's a lot of divine intervention here. Someone wants to make an announcement, save something. Some of you could be married to your person. They could be married to who they're involved with. They could live with their person. They could be seeking guidance from a higher power, such as their ancestors. You know, someone here wants to do, it's like they've got moral obligations, but they've got spiritual beliefs as well. A bit like the High Priestess. Tapping into your intuition, using your initiative. Look, yeah, like I said, being creative, mastering knowledge. This is about knowledge here as well. Somebody definitely wants to reach out to someone, but tell me more about this Hierophant. Someone's harbouring their feelings, but they're very old-fashioned and traditional. Yeah, very old-fashioned, traditional. Oh, sorry about that. My cat keeps going in and out, in and out. It's like Piccadilly Circus. Oh, right. Where was we? So somebody wants to do the right thing here. Like I said, moral obligations, mastering, knowledge, the right way to approach you, the right way to communicate. It's like they're waiting for their ships to come in. Yeah? So with this Two of Wands, it's like they're craving companionship with you. Even in the past, it might have just been a little bit of passion or a connection, so to speak. But this time around, they really want to invest some work like this with you. You've got something little and you make it into something bigger, beautiful. And this time around, they've really got commitment on their mind here. Yeah? So it's a matter of walking away from a third party situation, kicking the alcohol dependency, because there's a lot of cups here. coming up with a plan, the best way to approach you. With the Six of Swords, they're definitely walking away from toxic waters and going towards something calmer. They're seeking comfort from you. They're seeking something calmer. As I said, there's a lot of planning, decisions and thinking, giving birth to new ideas. Look, being creative with this Magician, manifesting the connection, manifesting you back into their life. Someone here is very old-fashioned and traditional. They might want to get married, do things right. Yeah. Tell me more about this Hierophant. You've become very wise. Your person could be older than you. Yeah. It's like a new door is opening, you know, door opportunity. Okay. Tell me more about this Hierophant. Definitely figuring out a way to approach you. That's what I keep hearing. I keep looking at this Two of Wands. Yeah, there's probably frightened ego going on, fears. They're still harbouring and keeping their feelings a secret. You know, maybe in the past they weren't entirely honest about their feelings. It was too much. They walked away. They were carrying too much love for you, or they had moral obligations such as children. Also with this Moon, it's like someone is harbouring their feelings and they're holding it in too long. They don't like keeping you in the dark. They don't like being, you know, keeping secrets, you know, things that are hidden. You know, there's a lot of illusion here. And it's making them feel exhausted. It could be you as well, yeah. We've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. It's like someone here wants to reach out, but they're stuck between illusion and reality. What's real and what isn't. They're still hiding their feelings. Look, they're carrying it around. It's too much. It's exhausting. They're in a third party situation, you know, but they still want to do the right thing. With this Moon card, this Moon card, it tells me that someone is doing something behind the scenes. You know, it remains to be seen. There's a bit of deception here, such as third party situation. Someone's holding back their feelings, just keeping you in the dark about something. Maybe you're both hiding your feelings. You know, maybe no one's opening up at the moment and there's just a lot of thinking going on. Should I reach out? Should I communicate? You could be waiting for a restriction to be lifted so that you can travel and come and see each other, get married, renew your wedding vows. Yeah? Someone here's definitely had a reality check. Definitely struggling to embrace change, thinking the best way to approach you, come out of this, and they could be going through phases as well and cycles in their life. I feel that this person really struggles to tell you how they feel, and they get overwhelmed with emotions. Look, they get overwhelmed and then they run back and hide again. Someone here can't see through fear and illusion, and you know, it's like conscious and subconscious. They need to make a conscious decision, and maybe that's what they're trying to master with this Temperance and this Magician. They're trying to master the correct knowledge, the correct way to approach something. Strength testing, you know. Maybe they're worried that the longer we're in lockdown, it's going to affect the economy, and then they won't be able to support you financially if you have kids. You know, this is about subconscious fears and frightened ego, the Moon. You know, it's like this person is overpowered by thoughts and consumed with fear. They can't see. Maybe they're afraid of rejection, that you're going to walk away. You've got air energy here. This is your energy, look. You could have walked away. You've had enough. Yeah? They've definitely got a lot of love for you here with the Six of Cups. They just wish that they invested more and they weren't so hidden and closed off and deceptive in the past. You know, walking away, sort of in and out energy, can't cope with their feelings. But someone here definitely wants this passionate new start, look. You know, Three of Cups is about renewal as well. I definitely feel someone is afraid to reach out because someone is afraid of rejection. They're full of fear, they're full of doubt, could rely on alcohol to block out their feelings, you know. They definitely want to communicate. They could be mastering how to be confident here as well. Yeah? Confidence. Yeah? Focusing on their goal. Focusing on their intent. They get overwhelmed with passion and love and feelings, and then they run away. Yeah? But someone here definitely wants to, you know, reconnect with someone from their past and start a new relationship. But at the moment there's a third party interference here. I feel that someone here needs to walk away and clear all this doubt and fear, you know, with this moon card. That could be what they're working on here. Look. Yeah, they could be working on that. Because the more anxious you are and more fear that you are in, see? They're trapped. They can't open their throat chakra at the moment because they're not ready. You know, they're still tying up loose ends. Look. That's a third party situation. They could be, wow, this person's got really bad communication problems, blocked throat chakra. There's so much fear. It's like they're dying to reach out to you, but they don't know how. You know, they could be waiting for a certain restriction, worldly restriction, to be over before they communicate and come in. Look, you know, it's like they're just, it's like, you know, when you're just standing and thinking and thinking and thinking, you know, and it's like I said, it's overpowering them, it's overwhelming them. They're overthinking the situation. They need to just take risks, be a daredevil, go with the flow, you know. And I think that you're getting fed up as well, this person, look, where they're holding back their feelings and not being honest and open. Will they ever leave this third party? You really miss each other, you know. And I feel that someone here, hang on a minute. Ooh, my throat. Okay. Can you tell me more about this moon? They could have kept you in the dark for a long time if you weren't aware that they were in a third party situation. Okay, so, you know, I feel that in the past they kept you in the dark about something. They didn't invest. They didn't give you much communication. I feel that there was just a lot of running away, finding comfort in the nearest person. But I feel this time around they've got their head screwed on. But what gets the better of this person is nerves, fear, anxiety, worry. You know, that it's like they're trapped and imprisoned in their own thoughts. They don't know what's beyond those two pillars. They don't know whether you're going to reject them, whether you're going to tell them to go away. They really want to work things out. Look, they're very passionate, they're very dedicated, hardworking. Could be you. You could be working on self-love. You know, you've worked hard for yourself. You've maintained some sort of balance within yourself, some sort of stable home life here. You had to work on self-love. You had to grow. You had to evolve. You mastered, you know, strength, balance, all that, you know. And then you're worried to open up again. You could be guarded. You could be protecting yourself, protecting your heart, closed off, being sharp with your words because you're afraid. Maybe someone is afraid of commitment, change, to be happy, but I feel that you're afraid of getting hurt again. Maybe it's going to take a long time for you to open up, for you to trust this person again. Yeah? Because they've messed around in the past. Maybe you're thinking, is it worth the wait? You know? Is this person really my wish fulfillment? Is it my destiny to be with this person? So as I said, now we're at home in lockdown, you know, there's a lot of time to think, to reflect. Yeah? You could be giving birth to new ideas, new projects. Yeah? I don't know why I keep going back to this Temperance card. I keep being told to pick up this Temperance card. I keep hearing patience and it's worth the wait. That's the universe. Whether you know, we all have choice and free will, but whether you want to open up your heart again, forgive this person, that's very much up to you. It could be both of you that is doing a lot of balancing and strength testing and, you know, maintaining some sense of, you know, morality, you know, your spiritual beliefs, coming to your senses, not to be so deceptive and closed off and hidden. Maybe it's you saying, unless you know, I don't want to be part of a third party situation anymore. You know, be open, be honest. I want something real, something committed. You know, get married, you know, make it official sort of thing. You know, maybe this person is exhausted because they don't want to reach out and ask for help. Maybe it's a pride thing. I feel that someone here refuses to come out of a comfort zone. Also, they could be hanging on to you very tightly. Like I said, giving birth to new ideas, being creative. Maybe your person is involved with a karmic that's their mum and that's interfering. You know, someone could be obsessed with money, materialistic things, power, greedy. Okay, but you know, this is who they're craving, they're seeking. The Empress and the Four of Pentacles. You know, she's ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love and sexuality and giving birth. You know, someone who's kind and nurturing. You know, also with this Four of Pentacles, I see this as someone who, it's like they don't know the value of themselves. Maybe they need to work on self-love. Yeah? Okay. My little brother was calling me. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, with this Empress and the Three of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, you've got the Nine of Cups here. Some of you could be expecting. Okay. Also, this is about giving birth to new projects, celebrating new projects. Someone here is very kind and loving and giving and nurturing, very in tune with her emotions, in tune with nature, in tune with her intuition, right? She's very spiritual and she's very full of abundance. She's all about love and she's so serene. You know, a very mothering kind energy here. This is divine feminine energy. I definitely feel a lot of you are expecting, because you've got the Nine of Cups there as well, plus the Empress. Or you could be finding out, look, you could be waiting to hear news that you're expecting. Could be expecting twins, you know, could even be triplets. But there's definitely someone here waiting to hear news about a work project, a news about a pregnancy, okay? But like I said, this is about being creative as well and giving birth to new ideas. Okay. You could be finding out that you're expecting as well. But overall, it's like you could find out that you're expecting, and then your person's going to come back and commit to you, be serious, be dedicated, leave this third party situation, because it looks like it's just based on dependency, you know, codependency. It was driven by lust and desire. It's burdening them. Look, this is who they're craving. Yeah. Someone who's very in tune with their emotions, very sensitive. What gets the better of them is their nerves. Instead of taking action, I feel that a lot of what they do is overthink a situation, and then they question their worth or their value as a person, and then, you know, they trap themselves in illusion and fear and worry and doubt. I feel this person, it's like something is missing in their heart. You know, they don't know how to open up, they don't know how to reach out. Like I said, they overthink a situation, you know, and then it puts the brakes on things, and then they're back to the stagnant energy again, just thinking, because pages can be quite slow with communication. I feel that you in your heart are thinking, is it worth the wait? That's very much up to you. You know, we've got choice and free will. I feel that this Temperance card is really, you know, saying to you, give it a chance, have faith, be patient. I feel this person's going to come back with some sort of apology. They're walking away from anything that's holding them back from coming back to you. Maybe a third party situation was their mum, could have been interfering. But I feel that what gets the better of this person is nerves. They overthink a situation, and, you know, it puts them in fear and worry and doubt and sort of anxiety, you know, and then they can't get their words out. There's a lot of deception here. Someone here needs to work on self-love. they keep devaluing themselves here. That's what I feel. Someone here could have got into the habit of material dependency as well. You know, it could be the person that they're around. It could be a very greedy earth sign that they're around. Like I said, obsessed with money, materialistic things. They don't acknowledge their surroundings. They could be hanging on to you very tightly. Look, they won't let go. Yeah? It's like they're making themselves ill. Look. Because instead of taking action, all they do is they work themselves up into a frenzy. Look. Into stress. Yeah? And then they keep walking away again. You know? They don't know how to reach out. They don't know how to They don't know how to communicate because they're just full of fear. That's what's holding them back. They're very tied to their emotions. They're craving you. They're missing you. Wanting, you know, wanting you. Wanting to talk to you. Wanting to pick up that phone. It's like they're fighting it. They're fighting their feelings for you. Resisting. Third party situations. But I think eventually they will learn to, you know, get some sort of, and maintain some sort of balance here within themselves, so that they can be fearless and headstrong and stand strong and not be so nervous and overthinking a situation. Like I said, this person, they work themselves up into a frenzy, so anxious, and they make themselves ill. Look, you know, there could be a bit of huge communication problems. I can't get my words out. A bit of a perfectionist. They overwork themselves. Could be overworking themselves at home. Then they end up exhausted and tired. Look, this person does a lot of thinking and not enough action. It's like they pick up the phone and then put it down. Yeah. They could live with their karmic person. That's what I feel here with some of you. This person kind of is codependent on things to block out their feelings, you know, whether it be work, third party situation, drugs, alcohol. They're definitely dependent on something. There's no action. All they do is overthink the situation. This moon card's really talking to me. They can't see past the illusion and the reality. Look, beyond what's real and what's not. It's like maybe something is too painful, look, to see the reality of something. It's like they love you so much, they get overwhelmed and they keep running away. You know, they're carrying too many burdens, harbouring their feelings, you know. I think eventually they will reach out, but it might take a bit of time. It's going to take a bit of time. It's just their love for you is, look, is so strong. It's just overflowing with passion and love, and you know, they want to be intimate with you, and it's just wow. Juggling a third party, juggling their feelings for you. Could be you as well, feeling exhausted. You know, maybe you've got kids with your person. In the past, I feel here something came to a painful end. You know, someone here definitely suffered a lot of pain, betrayal, heartache, loss. Could have had money losses due to a third party interference. So you've got the Ten of Swords and the Tower. Again, air energy. It could be you. You know, maybe you're having a Tower moment. Maybe you're having an epiphany, a wake up call, going through ascension. You know, maybe you are coming to that realization to do what's best for you. You know, but someone here definitely went through some sort of painful ending with something. Also, the third party situation could be coming to an end with the Ten of Swords and the Tower. Someone could be angry. They could be around someone that's angry. You could be angry. A person could be angry and frustrated. They've got this chaos going on in their head. Look, it's over. She hates me. She doesn't want to know me. I do feel this person needs to do a bit of mirror work. It's like they're rejecting themselves. Yeah, they've made up their mind. You know, they're rejecting themselves. They're not communicating or addressing something within themselves. They might need to heal their heart from something. Someone could have betrayed someone's trust here. You know, could have suffered backstabbing here. You know, Tower moments need to happen because it gives you a wake-up call. It puts things in perspective for you. this could be going on in their head as well. Plus, this is what's going on in the world. Heartbreak, pain, loss, suffering. The world is in chaos. The world's never going to be the same again, you know, but it will be healed, you know, it brings in better things, yeah? So they could be wrapping up the completion of a third party situation because of the Six of Swords, so they'll be walking away, yeah? Because they've had enough. It's too stressful, causes them anxiety. Also with this Moon card, I feel that this person couldn't be themselves with the third party situation. They couldn't be their true, genuine, authentic self. They had to hide, they had to be a different person. When they're around their karmic, they're different, right? But with you, they can be their true selves, yeah? So yes, this confirms it with the Ten of Swords and the Tower. They had a wake-up call, they had an epiphany, you know, a wake-up call. This is about transitioning as well to a better cycle, or to be a better person for you. They could be working on that, look, yeah? This is quite, you know, powerful, you know? Also, the person that they're around could be very destructive, you know, destructive behaviour, causing trouble. Maybe your person is waiting for a worldly pandemic restriction to be lifted, so they can physically come towards you, travel, come and see you. Page of Wands is about travelling as well. But they're definitely walking away from a third party situation, okay, because they want to put things right with you, okay? They want to apologise, put things right, sort this out with you. You could help to heal each other's heart, you know, console each other, you know, not be so conflicted. You know, they could be angry at themselves, you know. I feel that this person gets angry and, you know, their nerves and their emotions get the better of them, so they just run away and hide and create this chaos in their head, this illusion, you know. Yes, it's painful and it's hard, but you'll heal from it and you'll move on to, you know, to better things, yeah. This person misses being free. They're freeing themselves from a toxic third party situation. They're learning to master power and to speak their truth and get their words out without stuttering, you know, being powerless, being fearless, being emotionally stable here, you know. Maybe in the past they weren't good with emotions and feelings. It was too much, yeah, and that's why they walked away in the past. But they definitely want something new here, yeah, to balance this out, to sort this out with you. They're just coming up with a sort of, like I said, a creative idea, a strategy to start this new relationship with you. And they might want to have more kids. If you haven't got kids already, they might want to have more kids. They want to have kids with you, yeah. It's like they need to come up with some sort of strategy, some sort of correct way to approach you, some sort of method, yeah. There is a potential here for this relationship, this connection, to blossom, to be better, to be powerful, yeah. And that's what this person's working on, you know, tapping into their source of power, such as their intuition, using their initiative, realizing that they are powerful like the magician, creative. Don't let people emotionally manipulate you. I have the tools and resources and I can do this. Manifest this connection. Build together, you know, grow together. Three of Cups is about celebrations as well. The birth of a new project, potential work projects, opportunities, yeah. This person can be a bit stubborn. As I said, they're working on it. Yeah, they're working on that. You know, this person could be afraid of, it's like they love you so much, they're afraid. Could be you as well, you know, that something's going to go wrong, a third party is going to come and interfere. You know, it's like this person, or you even, or both of you, could have suffered betrayal in the past, and you're both scared to open up and let go, and, you know, don't resist change and overthink a situation where you work yourself up into fear and worry and doubt and very severe anxiety and cause chaos in your head you know. It's like there's a battleground going on in their head. Maybe you're hanging on to the connection, both of you, you know, you're hanging on, clinging on so tightly. You don't want to let go. Or you don't want to give in to the passion, to the love for each other. Especially with your person, I feel that they're hanging on to you very tightly. Yeah? They just wish that in the past they did things differently. Some of you could be refusing to let go because you know it's going to be worth the wait. But they just need to sort their head out in this confidence problem. Overcome all these obstacles, challenges, fears, look. Yeah? Indecisive, confusion. Should I reach out? Shouldn't I? You know? But with this Temperance card, it's saying just have patience, keep the faith, you know? It will be worth the wait. They're balancing it, they're mastering it, learning to adapt, learning to adjust. Embrace this sort of, like I said, sense of self, morality, you know? They might need to heal their heart. You know, they might need to gain closure from a past trauma. Yeah? This person, I feel that they need to work on self-love. I keep getting drawn back to this moon and this Eight of Pentacles. They're working on releasing fear. They're working on maintaining, like I said, a sense of balance and structure within themselves. Releasing worry, fear, anxiety, confusion. You know, they've always been indecisive in the past. This is about indecisiveness. The Moon card. All over the place. You can't make up your mind, you know. But in the end, you know, like I said, they will master some sort of method, some sort of creative idea, some sort of strategy to come towards you for this new relationship. Look, tell you how they feel. I see this as the Two of Cups as well. Yeah? Go within, listen to your voice, gain momentum. You know, that sense of self-awareness as well, you know. They've got their wits about them. They're vigilant. Balancing their emotions, balancing a third-party situation. You know. Fighting their feelings. They could have problems going on in a home environment as well. This is about adjusting to a home environment as well. You know, someone here could be testing the waters, working on coming out of their comfort zone, stepping out of this darkness, look. You know, being truthful, speaking their truth, opening up, making an announcement, saving this union. Yeah? Being traditional, look. Moral obligations, doing the right thing. Yeah? This person could have a confidence problem. Yeah? Confidence. And maybe that's why the universe has stepped in. You can do this, you have the power. Stand strong. You can, you know, manifest this. You can do this. Temperance. They're focused on their goal. You know, their goal focus is this connection. The passion, the love that they have for you is so strong, is so intense, they get overwhelmed and they run and hide. Yeah? So they're mastering knowledge, they're mastering strength and balance, they're testing their agility here, they're learning to adapt and embrace their spiritual side here, tap into their spiritual power, you know, coming up with creative ideas to come towards you. You know, maybe they feel a bit intimidated by you because you're so confident and powerful, you know, graceful, a very loving and nurturing energy. You know, you bring illumination. This Empress, she brings illumination, you know. I feel this is going to take a bit of time because this person is too full of worry and fear and doubt, and there's still strength testing and lessons going on in their life. They're going through ascension and they're probably scared and they don't know what's going on. You know, they could have just come to this sort of reality check, this wake up call, that they're going through an ascension. and also they need to leave an old life behind. They need to leave an old cycle behind, a third-party situation, calm down the codependencies, you know, cut their losses, walk away towards calmer waters, yeah? Because the situation they're in is quite toxic. You know, the Six of Swords is walking away from things that aren't good for you, but it's walking away from a lot of baggage. They've had a lot of baggage in their past. They were tied to their past, which makes sense because you've got the Six of Cups here. Yeah, the baggage from their past. They need to leave that behind. Maybe that's what they're afraid of. You know, to stop off at their destination and leave something behind because they've been codependent for too long. Yeah, but they're definitely going to come in and communicate with you, but like I said, at the moment it's just getting their words out, tying up loose ends. Karmic cycle, moon phases, demons from their past, ascension, you know, chaos going on in their head, chaos going on in the world. They overthink a situation and it puts them into worry and fear, you know, to the point where they can't see beyond their subconscious mind what's real and what isn't. It's like you're a dog and you're howling at the moon and no one can hear you. It's like a cry for help, you know. They overthink a situation and there's not enough action, not enough movement, not enough communication, just standing and watching and observing, you know. They need to master it and maintain it, you know. And even if they're in a third-party situation, it looks very burdensome and stressful. And like I said, they can't be themselves. Yeah? Could be the person that they're involved with that won't let go. You know, because they're obsessed with money and materialistic things and... yeah? But they will be walking away. Because with this Ace of Cups, I can see someone here starting a new relationship. So that was quite a long one today. Yeah, we had a lot of messages to get out. Quite a lot of powerful messages there today. That was your June reading of what's going on with you and your person or who you're dealing with. I hope it was insightful. I hope it resonated. Let me know in the comment section. If you're new, give me a like, give me a subscribe. You know, join my channel.